Hello, this is Good Morning Transfers. Liverpool are preparing to face Crystal Palace in the Community Shield this weekend. We'll be hearing from Arne Slot very shortly. We'll see what he has to say about links with Alexander Isak. Hi there, welcome back to Good Morning Transfers. Liverpool play Crystal Palace at Wembley on Sunday in the Community Shield. Arne Slot has been speaking to our reporter, Vinny O'Connor.
Arne, first of all, obviously our hearts have gone out to you all through such a difficult time. Fittingly, there'll be more tributes to Diogo at Wembley. He was such a lovely lad. How have the tributes that have gone before as well impacted you guys here?
First of all, the tragedy impacted us, of course, most. But again, it impacted far more his wife, children, parents. But it impacted us definitely as well, and the tributes that have been done since were all very emotional and impressive. So every time we were somewhere, started off I think in Preston and in Asia as well, it's been emotional but impressive as well.
We obviously now look towards the game at the weekend, but also look at things off the field, because Darwin, it seems, is on his way out. Can you give us your thoughts on his departure, how necessary it will be to replace him, and could his replacement be Alexander Isak?
These are a lot of questions. As you know from me, and I think every manager works like this, you never talk about players that are not yours. So I can talk to you about Hugo, which we signed recently and has done really well till now. We are very happy with the squad we are having, and there's every reason to be happy about that, because we won the league last season. Okay, players left, but we've brought players in as well, and youngsters are doing good. So at this moment of time, Darwin might leave indeed, but things are not signed yet, so you need to wait maybe a few days before that's completely. There is indeed a chance that he's going to leave.
I think there will be more incomings between now and the end of the transfer window, though, because I appreciate that Ryan, Andy Robertson and Endo can all play at centre half, but it appears that you could also still do with a centre half. Do you feel you need to bring in another option at centre half as well?
No, what you just said, they can definitely play there as well. And you forget to mention Joe Gomez. Unfortunately, he has a minor injury at the moment, but he will be back with the team very soon. So we still have numerous options that can play there. But as always, what I always say, it's the same boring answer as with players that we might bring in or not. I'm really happy with the players we are having, and we have numerous players that can play in that position.
And a chance now to win your first trophy of the season.
Yeah, which is nice if you can start a season with the chance of winning something, because normally you have to play numerous games before you can win something. If it's the League Cup, FA Cup, let alone Premier League or Champions League, normally you win something in the end of the season. And now we have a chance to win something in the beginning of the season. Unfortunately, we face a very good Crystal Palace that have been very difficult to win against for us, because we played 1-1 against them in the last game of the season, and they showed in the last final and in the semi-final, by the way, as well, how hard it is to win a one-off game of them. So I think most of the players that they have are still there. So even more reason to know what a difficult team it is to play against.
Hey Arne, what did you learn from your last trip to Wembley? Obviously it didn't end with a trophy, but I'm just wondering, how does this link to this one, and are you looking back to what happened against Newcastle?
Not looking back, because it's a different system and that Newcastle is playing, but maybe the way Newcastle played that final could be quite similar to the way Palace might play this final. So Newcastle used almost every free kick they got, no matter where it was on the pitch, to bring it into our box, and that's a style of play Palace also uses, so they also like to bring the ball out from the back, but they also are a threat in set pieces and long throw-ins and all these kind of things. So there are maybe a few overlaps. Is that the way you say? Yeah, overlaps between the two teams, but I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But Newcastle was going man v man all over the pitch, high up the pitch, high press. Normally, but maybe they will change it for tomorrow. Crystal Palace goes to a low block and defends in and around their own 18-yard box, and that is for every team very difficult to find gaps and to create your chances. So goals are in every game very important, but I think on Sunday one goal is worth a lot.
There's a lot of excitement around 16-year-old Rio Ungamoa at the moment, and he was on the score sheet. Anfield got an assist as well. How do you as a manager go about supporting him, I guess, because there's already such a spotlight on him at such a young age?
Yeah, and that is sometimes also difficult, and you never know how an individual handles that situation. But it was a year ago when Trey Naoni scored a goal, I think against Sevilla, when he was also maybe 17, very young. So they have an incredible chance to work and be every day around players like Virgil van Dijk, Mo Salah and all these others, to see what they do, to be ready to perform every 3 days. And that is a step these players definitely have to make, which is completely normal. If you're 16 or 17, it's already nice if they can play once a week at a good level. And we just try to develop them in the best way we can, but we also have to take care of them, because new players that come in that are 24, 23, 22 already experience that the intensity levels are quite high, either during the games or in training sessions, let alone for players that are 16 and coming through the academy. So we are aware of that, but it's been a promising start for him, like for Trey Naoni as well, because I think Trey also played a very good game at Anfield 3 days ago. Yeah, 3 days ago.
Arne, good to see you. Just picking up on what you were talking about Sunday, you've played a lot of different teams in pre-season, but are Palace actually, the perfect opponents to set you up for the season? Such a mature side, set style of play. They'll threaten you in multiple different ways. Yeah,
that last thing they indeed do. Counter-attacks, set pieces, long ball to Mateta. So they have also the individual quality of their forwards who can create out of nothing something. So very good team, and it indeed gives us. But that's, I think, what Bilbao did and Milan also already did as well, and the Japanese team, by the way, also gave us a lot of competition. So, and that's definitely what Palace is going to do, because they kept their team together. So. They just hit the ground running again, probably after being a few days off, and it's still the same team. So a team that performed really well, especially in the end of last season, and a good challenge for us to start the season with.
And considering how much you had to acclimatise to last summer and how late players arrived, just how valuable from a coaching point of view have you found this pre-season?
That's completely true. The good thing about last season was that the whole squad stayed, so they knew each other very well already. Now a few players have left. We brought a few players in, so that always takes a bit of adaptation as well, because the players we've brought in, some of them have different qualities than the qualities we already had. So they need to adjust to their new teammates, but we have to adjust to them as well. And it's a good thing we could have worked already for 4 weeks now, I think. So that's the pleasing part of not having a World Cup or another tournament in the summer, that you can work with them from the start.
Hi Arne, I wanted to ask you a little bit about the attacking depth of the squad. First out of the season. Last year in the Premier League, you were able to name 5 senior attackers in 32 of the 38 league games, and 6 senior attackers in 13 of 38 league games. I wonder what importance that depth, not only on the pitch but on the bench, had to the success last season, and are you trying to replicate it again this year?
I don't know what senior players exactly means. Does that mean that you play for your country or you have a certain age, or because a player like Rio showed in the last few games he played for us that at senior level, he can have an impact as well. So we think we already have a lot of attacking power in our team. So when I think about Cody Gakpo, Federico Chiesa, Hugo Ekitike, Mo Salah, Jeremy Frimpong, who can play as a right winger, Florian Wirtz, who can play as a left winger. So I already feel I have a lot of attacking options in my current squad. But as always, as a club, we are always looking at the chances in the market. But that can also be in the midfield or in the last line.
Also, with obviously last season Mo Salah being so consistent in his appearances, it didn't really give a lot of opportunities for someone like a Chiesa. This year, obviously, we've got the African Cup of Nations coming, so there's going to be a little bit of a time when Mo Salah isn't around. Are you going to be thinking about that in terms of squad building and recruitment, or does, as I say, this give more opportunity to someone like Chiesa?
Yes, we definitely thought about that, and we brought in Jeremy Frimpong because we think he can play as a right fullback, but I also think and feel he can play as a right winger. So yes, we did thought about the fact that we're going to miss Mo. I think as a maximum 6 games, but that's quite a lot in the Premier League, especially if you see how well he did last season. So yeah. Signing Jeremy Frimpong was for multiple reasons, but one of them was also that he could replace Mo if Mo is not there, but there are other options for me to replace Mo with as well. But Jeremy is definitely one of them.
How far do you think Alexander McAllister is behind the group? Obviously,
He will be in the squad, yeah.
is he going to be okay? How far away is he behind, say, Tobias Lane?
He was out for 2 months, I think, or longer, because we didn't play him in the last 4 games of the season. He trained with us since a week now, played 30 minutes, 45 minutes. So that's not a situation where you would start a player or play him for 90 minutes. Starting is possible, but definitely not for 90 minutes.